Today I will be discussing my pre-approval experience when I applied for a VA home loan through two popular lenders, Veterans United and Navy Federal Credit Union. If you are a veteran who is looking for information on the pre-approval process for a VA loan, I've got some information for you, so stay tuned.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Thanks for stopping by today. This is the third video of a three-part series for VA home loans. I did this as a special for veterans because we celebrated Veterans Day earlier this week. I will leave a link to that series in the description below, but could I get a thumbs up for this video? Okay, as you may know, some of the advantages of a VA home loan are that you pay no down payment, no principal mortgage insurance or PMI, and in some cases, no funding fee. I've been on my home ownership journey for a few weeks now. I am at the point where I have a realtor and started learning about the neighborhoods and looking at property to see what I can get for the amount of money that I want to spend. Because I was pre-approved for the mortgage, I knew my limit for the house that I can borrow against. In order to put in an offer on something I like, I needed to have a document called a pre-approval letter. The pre-approval letter lets sellers know that a lender has reviewed your finances and credit history and is willing to give you a mortgage for up to the amount specified on the letter. You should get pre-approved as soon as you can to see what you can afford. During the pre-approval process, lenders, meaning banks and mortgage companies, review your finances and look at things like your credit, salary, employment history to determine if you are able to pay the mortgage on your home. You have to include official documents like W-2s to show that you have been employed for the past 2 years, pay stubs to prove current income, bank statements to prove that you have money to pay for down payments. For veterans, any retirement pay or the VA disability benefits can be included as income, but housing allowances that you receive from GI Bill benefits are not counted as eligible income. To get pre-approved, your credit history is also evaluated to determine your credit score and to calculate your debt to income ratio. I requested pre-approval letters from two lenders, Veterans United and Navy Federal Credit Union. First, I will discuss my experience with Veterans United. Veterans United called me after I filled out information on Zillow after seeing a property that they advertised on Facebook. The loan specialist asked for my income, my rent, check my credit score and ask if I received any VA benefits and how much. He was able to pull up my certificate of eligibility from the VA system to ensure that I was eligible for the loan benefit. He explained that I would not have to pay the PMI, which is usually charged by other lenders if you do not make a down payment of at least 20%. This is a huge benefit of the VA loan since this charge is usually added to your mortgage payments monthly and can run you an extra couple $100. He also mentioned that I did not have to pay a VA funding fee since I have a service-connected disability of more than 10%. If you do not have a service-connected disability, this amount can be 2.3% of the mortgage amount if you are a first-time borrower. However, you can reduce the amount of this fee if you make a down payment of at least 5%. Veterans United also pulled my credit at no cost. The specialist mentioned that my debt-to-income ratio was really good and that I would have no issues being approved. The debt-to-income ratio, or DTI, is a calculation that is used to determine if you can afford to pay your mortgage. This is where the lender adds up all minimum payments that are required to pay your debt from credit cards, student loans, car payments, and other loans that you may have, as well as your rent or proposed mortgage payments, then divides that by the total amount of money that you make monthly. If it is too high, more than likely you won't be approved for the loan amount that you request. He also advised that I was a few points away on my credit score from getting a better rate for the loan and that he would transfer me to their credit specialist who would work with me. I assumed that my scores dipped because I recently applied and opened an airline mileage credit card account. But when I spoke to the specialist, he said that it was from an old collection from Verizon. It was a $345 termination fee that I received when I broke their contract to switch to their prepaid service. The credit specialist from Veterans United advised me to contact the collection company to verify the debt and ask them for a pay for delete letter. He said to only pay the debt if they are willing to delete the collection from my account after I paid. I contacted them right away and they assured me that although they did not provide a pay for delete letter, they would contact the trade lines within 30 days to delete the debt from my credit report. I only had to pay $120, which satisfied the account as payment in full. I called back the company the day after to request the repayment letter, which the company emailed to me. Once I gave Veterans United the the letter as proof of payment, the credit specialist was able to expedite the process to have the collection removed. He also requested a rescore, and within 3 days, the collection was no longer on my report and my scores improved as much as 16 points. This is a huge benefit, guys, and the service is free. Even if you do not go through the process of buying the home loan with them, you get the service for free, so take advantage of it. Once my scores were improved, I was handed back to the loan specialist who continued the process with me. At this point, I had already created an online account with Veterans United to track my progress. I had some tasks to complete. Now I had to submit proof of income, which was my last pay stub only. I also had to link my bank accounts to their platform, and I had to fill out my rental history for the past 2 years, as well as my employment history for the past 2 years. I did not have to include any W-2s for the pre-approval on Veterans United. There was a form that I had to sign so that they can pull all the information that they required from IRS and other agencies, but I don't remember all the things that were specified on this form. I was then sent my pre-approval letter from Veterans United. Note that they do ask you how much you would want to borrow, and they will only pre-approve you for that amount or less. Now I will describe my experience with Navy Federal Credit Union. By now I had spoken to my realtor who advised me to get more than one pre-approval. I already started working with a specialist from Veterans United to remove my charge, and once I got notification from my credit monitoring service that it was removed, I submitted an application with Navy Fed since I had already banked with them. Their process was a little different from Veterans United. I completed the pre-approval process by applying for the mortgage on their website. In the application, I was asked similar questions to what I was asked about Veterans United on the phone: employment history for the past years, rental history, how much I wanted to be approved for. I was also allowed to choose the loan option that I wanted to apply for. I chose the VA 30-year fixed loan. My credit was pulled and I had to pay $19.95 to pull my credit. Note, with Veterans United, my credit was pulled for free. As part of the process, I had to link my bank accounts and other financial accounts, which can be used for down payments. I received a generated pre-approval letter right away, and I was assigned a loan officer. Similar to Veterans United, I had some tasks to perform. I had to submit bank statements for the financial accounts for the previous 60 days, W-2s for 2018 and 2019, pay stubs for the previous 30 days. So within an hour of applying, I had a pre-approval letter from Navy Federal, or so I thought. The officer called me the next day to ask me to confirm some information and ask about employment history since I had switched employers and had a small gap. She also asked me about the collection, which hadn't disappeared completely yet. I told her that it was paid and I emailed her the letter. She then sent me a pre-approval letter and explained that the system gave me a default letter, but the information had to be reviewed by a person. This felt confusing to me, but in my case, nothing changed. I received an updated letter for the same amount, but the language was slightly different. In her update, she also included the interest rate for the mortgage, which was 2.7%. The letter also included what to expect for closing costs. She quoted about 3 to 6% of the loan. The email also mentioned that I only had to pay third-party fees for the loan, no charges from Navy Federal, with the exception of the $20 that I paid for the credit check. Both pre-approval letters from Navy Federal and Veterans United included the pre-approval amount, the down payment, which in my case was nothing. Both letters mentioned that my finances were reviewed. Overall, I really liked Veterans United because I felt like I always had someone to hold my hand along the way. They have a really great team. So far, I spoke to 5 people from Veterans United: a loan specialist, a credit specialist, a loan officer, my concierge officer, and a realtor that they recommended. They also have videos on their platform to help you become a bit more familiar with the process. With Navy Federal, I only worked with one person, my loan officer, who communicated with me via email. She was really responsive, but I felt like Veterans United went the extra mile. When asked about time to close, I was told 30 days by Veterans United and 40 days by Navy Federal Credit Union. When I asked friends and family, they did not have great things to say about Navy Federal's closing times. Some reviews on the internet show that Veterans United has a reputation for closing fast. If closing time is important to you, this is something to take account and was the first thing that my realtor asked me about. However, if interest rates are important, Navy Federal seems to offer better rates than Veterans United. This is something that you can probably negotiate with Veterans United. In both cases, I was offered an option to get a credit back on my closing costs up to a few $1,000s if I worked with one of their realtors to find a home. This is a great opportunity to help save on some closing costs, so you should probably take advantage of it. Also, in both cases, I had no issues when I requested an increase on my pre-approval amount. I realized the kind of space I was getting for the amount of money I originally wanted to spend wasn't going to cut it, and wanted an updated letter ready just in case I have to move in fast in the future to make an offer. Many people say that you should have at least 3 lenders so that you can compare rates and closing costs and negotiate the best loan terms to save as much money as you can on your mortgage payment and closing costs. I address the kinds of closing costs that you can expect to pay in part 2 of the series. You can check out that video here. I hope this was helpful. Please take a minute to like and comment if you enjoyed this video today. Is there anything that I missed in the process that you would like me to discuss in another video? Let me know below. Thanks for watching. Bye.